Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.
Hi, this is George Swift and welcome to the Leveling Up podcast. The Leveling Up podcast is here to give you the personal development, the entrepreneurial development and the business growth that you, the ambitious business owner, desires. I'm here to give you the inspiration, the motivation, but above all else, as always, to challenge your aspirations to take you and your business to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe and never miss an episode. And in this episode, I'm going to make life super simple for you if you are looking at growing your business. And yes, you can, even given what we're all going through right now, what we're facing right now. The rules for success, they haven't changed. The rules for business growth, they haven't changed. It's just become 10 times more important that we apply them. So today, I'm going to give you two focuses. In fact, the only two focuses that you need to have in order to grow your business. More often than not, we massively overcomplicate business. And what I try to do with my business owners and what I try to do with my own business is actually keep it as simple as I possibly can, certainly at a surface level. And then, yeah, of course, as you dive into individual aspects of your business, you will uncover deeper levels of complexity. As your business continues to grow, of course, those complexities will grow. However, what happens is we get so focused on some of the detail that we actually forget to focus on some of the broad strokes, the things that are actually going to deliver us what it is that we're trying to do in business. Give us the business growth, the sales, the new clients, give us the ability to give us the freedom, the sovereignty that we want to have as business owners, the security, the safety, the ability to deliver increasingly to the marketplace, to have an increasing positive impact in the world around us. And what happens is we can get focused on marketing or aspects of marketing. We can get focused on the accounts or get drawn into, debtors or get drawn into deeper aspects around accounts. And obviously all these things are going to be important, no doubt. And all these things you do need to take care of course. However, not to the exclusion of forgetting that there are actually only two real focuses that you need to have. And those two focuses are sales and delivery. So I know on the one hand, that seems super simplified. On the other hand, it probably seems the bleeding obvious. But actually, even well-developed businesses, well-honed businesses, mature businesses, business owners and entrepreneurs that have been around the block many times still can sometimes forget these two basic focuses. Your business is to sell more of what you sell and to deliver what it is that you're selling. If you continue to do that and continue to improve upon those two things, you will grow your business. So I want to start by, first of all, talking about sales. Because if we don't have sales, there's nothing to deliver in the first place. In fact, we have no business at all if we don't have sales, which is why I keep coming back to sales over and over again across this podcast. And it's a mission of mine to instill into as many small business owners as humanly possible that you must do sales. You must increase your sales output. You must get better at sales, but actually more important than even getting better at sales, we've just got to do more of it, enjoy it, hopefully fall in love with it. And if we do, then we'll never have a problem getting out there and doing sales. And if we are out there doing sales, we will still be in business. In an episode last week, I talked about how the two ways of generating more revenue in your business is to sell more and to sell what you're currently selling for more. And I talked about how you can 4 times your business in as little as 2 years. You could probably do it in much shorter time than that if you really applied yourself. Sell more and sell for more. Both, however, require you to do sales. So you can sell more of what you're doing and you'll make more revenue, or you can sell what you're currently selling for more revenue, and of course you'll make more revenue, and of course your profit will go up as well because of it. However, you will need to be out there doing sales. You'll need to be out there focused on sales in order to achieve and accomplish both of those ambitions. And I strongly, wholeheartedly recommend that you run both those projects concurrently. If you want to know more about what I had to say about that, then go and check out last week's podcast episode. It's all about how you can 4 times your business in 2 years. Fundamentally, sales, whether it's selling for more and or selling more, I recommend both. You need to be out there doing sales, getting better sales, being more sales focused. You need to make sure that you have your arse firmly planted in the sales seat. You need to make sure you've got a sales strategy in place, sales systems in place, CRM systems in place. You want to make sure that you prioritize and diarize sales. You want to put sales at the forefront of your business. You want to make sales the number one priority in your business. Why? Because it is where business begins. If you don't have clients, you have no business. If you don't have revenue coming in, you have no business. So number one, and I've reiterated this over and over again on this podcast, and I'm going to reiterate again in this episode, it's essential, it's absolutely imperative that you and your business becomes sales focused. In fact, I tell business owners, put sales first, make sales first, set the theme, set the agenda. Have it written on a banner, have it written on a post-it note stuck on your computer, have an alarm that goes off at 8 o'clock every single morning, tattoo it on the inside of your eyelids. Whatever you do, remember to put sales first. So the first thing you need to focus on, one of the two focuses, the only two focuses you need to focus on in order to grow your business is sales. Make sales a priority, make time for sales. If you haven't got time for sales, find time for sales. If you can't find time for sales, buy back time for sales. How do you buy back time for sales? There's shit you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. There's stuff that somebody else could be doing. It's almost certain that you are the best person in your business to be doing the sales in your business. I've talked about this many times in the past. Fundamentally, you're going to struggle to get anyone else to do sales for you in your business, certainly until you have enough revenue to be able to go out there and really attract some serious talent. And serious sales talent costs a lot of money. I see way too many small business owners trying to avoid doing sales, trying to get other people to do sales for them. I see them trying to make up for not doing sales, but doing more marketing, more videos, more blogging, maybe trying to do some ads. And basically anything they can do to avoid having to do sales, to circumnavigate the obvious truth, which is when you start up your business, when you set up your business, whilst you didn't know it at the time, fundamentally you got yourself a sales job first and foremost. Accept it, give into it, embrace it, then fall in love with it. One of my members I was speaking to just recently, this past week or so, was running a 50K business about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year ago. He's currently heading up towards the 400 grand a year mark. And all that really changed was that he brought sales to the forefront of his business. He fell in love with sales. And what he did was embrace the sales job that he has now. And what he does is he gets other people to do work in the business that gives him more time to focus on sales. And his constant focus, when I spoke to him just the other week, his constant focus is how do I spend more time in sales? How do I get myself spending more time, more energy, and be more focused on sales? Because he understands that's what's going to grow his business. And this guy is on the march to create a veritable business empire. And he understands how he's going to do it. He's going to do it by selling first and foremost. Are there other things he has to do in his business? Of course there are. Are there other things that you have to do in your business? Of course they are. But what happens is we get distracted by those other things, and it distracts us from the bleeding obvious, which is we must be sales focused. We must bring sales forward as a priority in our business, the number one priority in our business, if we want to grow and scale our business. If you don't enjoy selling, guess what? You're not alone. The reason I keep rattling this cage, the reason I keep banging this drum, the reason I keep reiterating this theme over and over again is because I understand it, I get it. Most people do not want to do sales. You didn't do sales before you set up your business. Why would you want to do sales now? That's the rude awakening that most small businesses have, is they wake up one day and they're all excited and they spend the time on the business cards and they spend the time on the website, sitting in their newly furbished home office, feeling like they've arrived. And they want clients and they want to help and they want to do what it is that they're trained to do. And they want to go out there and they want to, be that person that does whatever it is they set up their business to do. And there's no clients. And then they start scratching their head. And they might tap up a few ex-colleagues, and if they've got some connections into their previous companies, they might get a few contracts and things like that. But eventually the rude awakening happens, and that is, I need to go out and I need to find more clients. And more often than not, they get seduced by marketing. They get seduced by marketing training, and they think, right, okay, so if I do the enjoyable functions such as writing a blog or putting out some video, if they enjoy doing video, I'll do some this, that, and the other in marketing. If I do that, then I'll attract people. Attraction marketing. I'll go out on Facebook, I'll do some LinkedIn, and I'll draw people into me, and I'll draw people to my website. Then the phone will ring, I'll pick up the phone, and I'll start taking orders and stuff like that. For most businesses, the majority of businesses, let's be honest, nearly every business I've ever met, that is a fantasy. It just doesn't happen. The truth of the matter is you need to go out there and you need to sell. Marketing activity is to support you selling. In fact, all the stuff that you do around lead generation, whether it's videos, whether it's writing a book, whether it's a podcast like this, it's all to support fundamentally sales. So when you keep the focus, which is sales first, it then means, right, does my activity that I'm doing around sales, does that actually generate sales? Is it actually aligned and working to create more sales, more revenue? If the answer is no, the chances are you're getting distracted with things that you shouldn't be doing. Maybe because they're fun things, you enjoy them, in which case, brilliant. Everyone deserves a hobby. You just can't have too many of them. And certainly you can't have them at the expense of doing the core function of sales in your business. The second focus is delivery. If you sell, and we do find this occasionally with businesses that are set up by people who are fundamentally great salespeople, love sales, maybe even ex-salespeople, they sell, and then they run into delivery problems. So of course, if you can't deliver what you are selling, you're going to have a potential backlog, you're going to drop the ball, the quality of your service or your product is going to drop. You're going to get a bad reputation. And now, of course, that's going to detriment your ability to generate new business, let alone, of course, make it almost impossible to retain current business. So, of course, you have to be focused on delivery. Delivery, first and foremost, is when you get paid. Sales is what generates the money. Delivery is when you get paid. So, of course, you need to have a keen eye on delivery. So if you don't have enough clients and you're sitting there twiddling your thumb, then of course the only focus you have for that period of time is sales, more business generation. As you start to increase more business, as you start to get busier, you need to make sure that you're constantly delivering and meeting the standards that you have led your prospects to expect from you. As you start to create more sales, as you start to generate more leads, as you start to generate more business, then you're going to find that you're going to start to feel the pinch potentially in delivery, which means you have to make sure that you are keenly focused on delivery and making sure that delivery keeps up with sales. Often what happens with small businesses, especially those businesses that are one-man bands, one-person bands, is that they go out there, they'll sell for a bit reluctantly, they'll win a couple of clients, they'll then park selling because it's the bit they don't really enjoy, throw themselves in delivery for a while, deliver on these projects will come to a close, and then they'll be there scratching their head because there's no business, and they'll reluctantly have to go out there and start to generate some more business again. As soon as they get 1 or 2 clients, 3 clients, whatever it might be, they then stop doing sales activity or back off that sales activity and then go back into delivery. Other business owners, they are frantically trying to keep up with delivery. So they go all in on delivery, they catch up on their backlog, and they end up so focused on delivery that the sales pipeline starts to fail. And you get this feast and famine. So if you're a business owner and you only had 2 people, you'd be wise to split them up and say, right, you are responsible for delivery, you are responsible for new business, for sales. Each person, 100% totally focused on that activity. If you're doing it all on your own, you need to start carving yourself in half, and you need to make sure that you're focused on both of these areas simultaneously. Of course, there will be times when you will naturally need to be a bit more heavily focused on delivery and equally more heavily focused on sales, because you're constantly going to be monitoring the output and the input of the business. And if your pipeline starts to fade a little bit, you're going to have to step up the game in sales. Of course, if you start falling behind on delivery, you're going to have to step up your game in delivery, but you never take your eye off of both of these balls. You never go from all sales to all delivery, back to sales, back to delivery, or hide in delivery from sales and wonder why you're struggling in your business year after year, never really getting the growth that you want in your business because you're just getting by. You're 30 grand business, 40 grand business, 100 grand business, whatever it might be, and you're selling an amount, you're delivering an amount, but you're never really truly growing that business because you never focus on how do I get more input. And when I get more input, how do I make sure that I can keep up with the output? So the two focuses you need to have in your business if you're looking to grow your business and scale your business is sales and delivery. Delivery must keep up with sales. Sales, you want it like off the chain. Now, yeah, you can overtrade in certain businesses depending on cash flow, etc. But for most businesses, your problem is not going to be that you're selling too much. For most businesses, the problem is really clearly that you're not selling enough. And it's worth noting that even in those businesses where delivery is the problem, where they can't keep up with delivery, sales is not the problem. I've heard it before, and I'm going to hear it many times again in the future, where business owners come to me and they say, the problem we have is we can't keep up with sales. We're selling too much. And they make the problem, instead of a delivery problem, they make it a new business issue. And they start to back off from new business because the last thing they want to do is start to drop the ball with their clients. Also, they're stressing themselves out. If they've got other staff members or people on the team, they start to stress those people out. And nobody wants to be in that environment, certainly not for long periods of time. So what they do is they back off the flow. And the last thing you want to do is turn off that flow, that sales flow. You want to open up the taps. You want more sales. You want more clients. If you're trying to grow and scale your business, you want more input. The problem you have if you can't keep up in delivery is not a sales problem where you're selling too much. It's that how do we keep up with delivery? We want to look at processes, systemization. You want to look at organization, hiring, outsourcing. You want to look at maybe machinery. You want to look at premises, locations. You want to look at logistics. It all depends on what kind of business you have. But fundamentally, what you need to look at is saying, right, how do I make sure that I can deliver what I'm selling? So if you're sitting there right now in your business and you're maxed out, you're doing your 40, 50, maybe even 60 or 70 hours a week in your business, you're spending a huge amount of time doing delivery. It's getting in the way of you doing any sales and marketing. You've got your head in that place where you're thinking, I don't need to do sales and marketing because I can't even keep up with the work that I've got. The question is really simple. Do you want to grow your business? Do you want to scale your business? Do you want to expand your enterprise? Or do you want to just sit there on this hamster wheel, pedaling faster and faster, harder and harder, where inevitably you'll get tired, worn out, you'll get bored, and then you'll probably back off even more. And you'll say, I can't keep up with this. So let's say you've got a 100K business, but you're doing 60, 70 hours a week, 50 hours of that is in delivery. What you'll do is you'll slow the business down even more, bring it back to something 50, 60, 70, whatever it might be, bring your hours back to 40K, and then you'll be there in that place of maybe frustration of never truly realizing the potential that you and your business had. So yeah, sometimes we're going to get super busy on the back end. Brilliant. What it means is something's going right on the front end in sales. If anything, open up the taps on sales. Continually be asking those questions. How do I sell more? How do I sell for more? And then constantly look at the back end saying, right, we've got to keep on streamlining our processes, become super effective, super efficient. We need to grow the delivery, the operational part of the business that enables us to maintain really high standards whilst maintaining constant growth in our business. When we strip our business back and look at it as two simple focuses, sales and delivery, we realize that everything else in our business is there to support those two things. And then instead of us getting pulled into the detail, the finances, the marketing, or the micro details within finance and marketing, we keep that top level focus. How do I sell more? How do I deliver more? Look at your business right now and say, right, if I sold twice as much starting tomorrow, could I handle that on the back end? The chances are for most businesses, at least if you're having a degree of success right now, the chances are no, you can't. If you're just starting out, of course you can. But if you've been going for a little while, if you've got a little bit of success, at least a degree of success, the chances are you probably couldn't deliver twice as much right now without making those changes. Do you have the mechanisms in place in order to sell twice as much? Could you double down on something? Are you holding back from doing sales in some way? If not, then the chances are you need to bring in new processes, new ideas, new ways of making those sales. So if you really want to grow your business, and I start all my business owners by saying, look at doubling. Just look at a minimum, look at doubling. If they're doing 30, 40K, I say, right, let's look at 100 plus. If they come to me and they're doing 100 plus, I'm saying, right, let's look at doubling this year. It's possible. I've seen it. I've had many of my members achieve exactly that. Businesses go from 50 to 120 in a year. This other guy's business going from about 50K, he's going to be hitting 400K in about 2 years. I've had businesses go from 150 to 350 to 750 to 1.5 million, onwards and upwards to multiple millions, year-on-year growth. You're not going to get that growth unless you're selling more, and you're never going to keep up if you can't deliver more. So say to yourself, right, if I want to double my business, not tomorrow, but I want to start building the business for 2 times what it is right now, I would say to you, it's a goal that you should be thinking of for the next 12 months. I genuinely believe that most businesses can go from 5 figures, 30, 40, 50, 60K, up to 100K in a year. And I believe that most 100K businesses, 200K, 300, 400K businesses can double in 12 months. And yet that includes what we're going through right now in terms of the recession and lockdown and COVID and whatever else is waiting for us in the coming months. So start with looking at that. If I was going to double my business, if I was going to double my turnover, how would I keep up? How would I make those sales? What staff would I need? What would I need to outsource? How would I buy back the time? If I'm doing 3 hours of sales on average per day and making 50K, if I could bring 6 hours a day of sales to my day, could I do 100K? And if I could do that, how do I get 6 hours a day in there? Do I need to start outsourcing some admin? Do I need to outsource my finances? Do I need to outsource the delivery to other people? Do I need to hire people to take care of delivery? So I'm focused on sales and I can bring 6 hours of sales per day. Now, I don't know if you saw what I did there ever so not subtly, is I started to insinuate that you might be doing 3 hours of sales a day, looking to double to 6 hours a day. The chances are you're listening to this right now and you're thinking, damn, 3 hours a day? I don't even do sales every day. If you add it up, you might only do 3 hours of sales a week. I see so many businesses and they're having a degree of success, 30, 40, 50K, maybe 60K, 70K sometimes. And they're only spending maybe a few hours a week, 5 hours a week maximum on sales. And I say to them, what if you could do 10 hours a week? What would that do? So the chances are you're not doing 3 hours, you're not doing 6 hours. The chances are you might be doing an hour a day on average, 90 minutes a day on average. You might be doing way less than that. Many businesses are. You might have a flurry of activity where you do a week where you might focus on sales, and then you might spend the rest of the month or multiple months after that where it becomes very much second fiddle, maybe even third fiddle. It might even go right down to the bottom of your priority list until you start to see your pipeline dry up and then it starts to become more important again. So if you're going to consistently bring twice as much energy consistently to sales, so instead of having this on-off kind of attitude towards sales, you say, right, I'm doing on average about an hour a day. How do I do on average 2 hours every single day? And if I do 2 hours every single day, will that give me double the output? Well, it should do. But of course, if you're not getting the leads in order to do the sales, you then have to say, okay, what do I need to do in my lead generation so that I can spend twice as much time on sales? So now you start looking at marketing as something that supports your lead generation, which is supporting your number one focus in your business, which is sales. On the back end, you start looking at, can I deliver twice as much? If I generate twice as much, can I deliver twice as much? If I can't deliver twice as much, instead of saying, right, I can't do that much more sales, I shouldn't do that much more sales, that's the problem. The problem is you don't have systems, processes, or personnel to enable you to deliver twice as much on the back end. So you say, right, okay, what's my growth strategy on the back end? Now we start looking at operational things. We might look at all kinds of other aspects of the business that are purely there to support delivery. Now, of course, we're keeping ourselves the bird's eye view, which is there's only 2 things I need to be focused on in my business. 1, sales, 2, delivery. Everything else, as important as it is only there to serve those 2 things. It keeps you super focused. It means you don't get bogged down in the detail. It means you get super clarity and lucidity over where you should be spending your time, what projects you should be engaging in, where you should be spending your money, investing. Because of course, if it doesn't support more delivery and if it doesn't support more sales, then the chances are it's not what you want to be spending on right now. Everything you spend on, will it sell more of what I sell? If it doesn't, then the question is, will it enable me to deliver more of what I sell? If it's needed and it does, then it might be worth investing in. If it doesn't, and it doesn't help sales, the chances are you shouldn't be investing in it. If it does help delivery, but you don't need to aid delivery because you haven't got your sales yet, then the chances are it's something you put on hold. When you start looking at your business with these clear focuses, it makes it much easier for you to create your strategy and to roll that strategy out and to be super disciplined in where you put your time and your energy so that what you're doing is getting you the maximum results. If you do this, you will be thanking me because you will be on the path to your own extreme business growth. Even if extreme business growth is not on the cards for you right now, even if that's not a goal for you right now, times are hard out there. I get it. The market is tough out there for some business owners. Some markets and industry sectors are getting hit really hard. So if you really genuinely believe that extreme growth isn't your goal, and in fact, you're losing money or losing your business, and the first goal has got to be to sustain that business and maintain the revenues that you've got, this strategy will work for that as well. This is the same strategy for making sure that you keep the business that you have right now as it is for growing the business. The only difference is really simple. If you're maintaining a business right now and you're not struggling because of the marketplace or because of the lockdowns or because of the recession or whatever else is going on in the world right now, then of course you can back off of both sales and delivery and start to create that lifestyle business. And I talked about that on a recent podcast episode not too long ago. But if you want to grow your business, and that's the whole focus of this episode, the only two focuses for business growth, then it's sales and delivery. If your business is starting to nosedive and tank because of what's going on in the external environment right now, then it's the same two focuses that are going to get you to turn the tide on that curve. Instead of nosediving towards the ground, you want to pull back on that control stick, you want to hit the throttle, and you want to get yourself back up to altitude. And then once you're there, you can then start to get yourself back on track with your business growth. All the time focusing on the only two focuses that you really have in business, which is number one, sales, number two, delivery. Nice one. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hear what I've got to say. I'm committed to helping you as a small business owner to keep your business, maintain your business, but fundamentally, I want you to grow your business. I want to level you up so that you can level your business up and ultimately create the business you want, the lifestyle you want, create the success that you want. If you're interested in seeing how at Success Groups we're helping businesses just like you to achieve exponential results in their businesses, then please do go and check us out. You can find us at biggerbrighterbolder.co.uk. I'll drop that URL in the descriptions of this episode. If you feel like having a chat with us and you're ready to talk business and how we can support you to create the business growth that you want in your business, then Tracy Miller, my partner in life and in business, would love to hear from you. You can find her email address, tracy.miller@biggerbrighterbolder.co.uk, also in the descriptions below. We'd love to hear from you. I'd love to meet you. If you're a business owner, whether you're just launching your business, whether you're doing that 30, 40, 50K mark and you want to hit 100K, or if you're already doing 100K or more, maybe up towards 500,000, and you want to know how you can continue to scale that business, then we have groups available waiting for you right now, full of ambitious business owners and entrepreneurs just like you, where we support each other on setting the right goals, holding each other accountable to those goals. We look at mindset, we look at marketing, business models, we look at planning, systems, processes, we look at digital marketing, normal marketing, all things needed in order to give you the growth of your business and the growth of you as the business owner. Go and check us out or drop Tracy a line. We'd love to hear from you. I'll see you next time. Until then, as always, be successful.
Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.